Hey, good morning, Pam. Happy holidays. I wanted to do an official episode of my show for you. Um, I've I've actually have planned um, to do more than one about my time here at 502 because this place, um, 502 Glendale, this has been um, such a rewarding experience to be here. And even though Pam, um, I've got my um, complaints, let's say, and you've got um, your complaints, um, I want to put those things to the side for a second, and not for a second. I want to put those things to the side and just heart to heart uh, say out loud in an official way. Um, I want to let you know how much I appreciate you, how much I appreciate this one bedroom apartment. Um, Thank you, Pam. Uh, I thank you for this place. The time that you met me, Pam, or the time that we met each other, it was through my ex-wife Valerie. And when we first met, I I I, I never knew. I had no idea what was coming my way via life and via Valerie. I had no idea what was coming my way. And I had no idea that that my ex-wife uh, was so great at slandering me. I had no idea that it was going on. I had no idea that I would experience corruption at the by the Tacoma Police Department. I had no idea that life would be like that. I mean, um, my son and your daughter, um, you and I haven't had the opportunity to really talk much in depth, but I don't know if your daughter Ella is in the same exact, if she's 10 exactly, or 11, just like my son is, or if she's older, like in the next grade. But if I'm, if my memory is serving me right, your daughter and my son are in the exact same grade. But I could be wrong, and I don't want to, you know, report something that's false. Um, but the primary thing that I remember you, um, the, the main thing I remember you for is that you were one of the parents of the many children that my son, um, that my son had the honor of going to school with, and your children and all of the other children in the Toma Montessori School had the honor of being in school with my son, because I really think highly of my son. And um, um, white people in my life and white people that I don't know, they think highly of their children. There's no white person that I've ever met while their children were my child's age. There's nobody, no white person that I've ever met that, or uh, there's no white person that I've ever met that has said words to this effect. Uh, it's okay that my child hit his head. It's okay that my child doesn't understand this subject. It's, my child is ridiculous. My child, no. Everybody that I meet that is white, they look at their child and they put the best into them. And out of the 350 million Americans, 15% happen to be African American, black, colored, um, of the Negro persuasion. Whatever negative word or positive word or encouraging way that you talk about people with my skin color, out of 350 million Americans, there's less than 15% of us out of the entire population of America. The majority of blacks in America are legal citizens, legal, naturalized, born in America. With Mexicans in America, um, there's enough of what's called illegal immigration for whites in Arizona or maybe whites in Texas to come up with a show me your papers law, which is a version of racial profiling. That's a version of it. But as a black man, I've never been uh, required to show my papers and show that I was born in America. It's never happened. I've never had to prove my citizenship. And it makes me feel personally, I'm grateful for that. And though, Pam, you never did anything related to slavery, you personally, you've never done anything regarding slavery. And I personally, I've never been a slave personally. But you and I have to deal with the after effects. Now, anything negative that happens to me in my life that I didn't earn, it's upsetting because I didn't earn it personally. If I were to assault somebody, in Wisconsin, they don't call it assault; they call it battery. But if I do the things that would result in a um, result in charges of battery against the person, I've earned that. And when I earn uh, um, a police uh, when I earn a call by the police based on a crime that I've done, I my um, my feelings about, because I've never done that. I've never ever done criminal activity. So I can't, it's just like you, Pam, you've never been, you've never enjoyed being, uh, uh, um, you've never enjoyed being um, whatever being black is. You've never enjoyed that. You've never been black, and so you don't even know necessarily what it feels like to be black unless you've talked to some people who have been black or were black for a little while in their life and then they go back to being white or something like that. Like there was this white guy who was in an airport, and he was the police were arresting him, and they were being a little bit more aggressive than I'm no I, I'm not used to seeing white people being aggressively grabbed and manhandled by more than one police officer. I'm not used to that. I'm I've been on this earth for 45 years, and I'm not used to seeing whites being manhandled by police. I'm not saying that I've never seen it. I'm not used to that as a regular thing. So when I see it, I marvel. And this particular instance that I'm referring to, and if I find the video, I will, figure out a way to insert it into this audio, this episode rather. And uh, he said, "You're treating me like a black person." The white guy, he said, "You treat." So for about 10 minutes during this takedown and arrest, that guy got a chance to feel in his body what it might have felt to be black, because he said, "You're treating me like a black person." Wow. When I heard that, moments like that, they make me happy, um, because everybody experiences the same thing once or twice in their lives. Meaning, that the majority, generally speaking, the majority of whites and blacks in America, the majority of the 350 million Americans, the majority of us experience children, whether through our own loins or whether through babysitting or whether through family. Most of us experience children. If you're one of the 350 million Americans and if you get to 80 years old and you never experienced not one child, you're a special, special person. You see what I'm saying? Um, 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 I didn't know there was such a community of people that are in prison that really they really have a lot of disdain for men who abuse children. Child molester, or chomo. I did not know until recently, over the past year and a half. I've learned personally by talking to enough people who are caught up in the Wisconsin system of the Wisconsin justice system, prison system, jail system, corrections, all of that. Um, there's enough of them to let me know that they feel, the majority of people that I've met in those circumstances, they have a disdain, a hatred for child molesters, and some of them take it out. They feel it's their duty to do something to that child molester when they find out that that is what they're incarcerated for. Wow. I've never molested a child. I've never done anything like that. So I don't even know what it's like to have those tendencies or feelings. Also, I don't know what it's like to be accused of it and have not done it. And then the rest of your life. White people have experienced that. There's enough white people who have been falsely accused of crimes and are branded for long, long periods of time. The Woody Allen experience, meaning that I just read about him. Woody Allen is a great man. I will always talk about Woody Allen as a great man. I always talk about him as a great man because of the movies he made, and that is the way that other white people talk about Woody Allen. I don't know any black people who really even know who Woody Allen is or even talk about Woody Allen. But an educated black person, and I say educated, not meaning smart and erudite, and I'm talking about a black person that's educated in their white friends. They've heard of Woody Allen. All you gotta do is watch TV. You know, if you watch at least 600 hours of TV in your life, which is not that difficult to have done, by the time you're 50 years old, you've heard of the name Woody Allen. If you like movies and watch interviews of whatever, you've heard of the word Woody Allen. But Woody Allen married his daughter or stepdaughter or whatever daughter. Wow. That's like me. That's like me marrying this little girl, this lady named Olivia. I'm 45, and Olivia, I've known her since she was born, since a year or so after she was born. And I participated in raising her. And then when she gets of legal age, we get married. Whoa, whoa. Now that's not a child molester because, Woody Allen hadn't done that, but it's a different thing that doesn't have a name. It's just whoa to me. You see what I'm saying? The point I'm making is this, is that everybody has experienced, in my opinion, a version of what you and I, Pam, have shared, and that is we love our children and we watched them play together. That is, um, uh, this is how I feel. This may be ego, but this is how I feel, and that's why I record because my feelings. And as you can hear, Pam, listen, I'm recording this. I'm recording this in in my apartment, in the apartment that I rent for you. And as you can hear, this is how loud I am. So I'm coming to a point on this, but again, I'm doing an episode, and this episode, a majority of this episode is dedicated to you. I've got other episodes where I will be thanking you, like I'm thanking you in this episode, but let me continue. Um, our two children, they go to school together, and your daughter and my son have a privilege that you and I no longer have. You and I have a privilege. I mean, your daughter Ella. If I hope hopefully I've said her name correctly. If I didn't, I apologize because um, I can't remember everything. I remember a lot. I write down a lot. Um, there were things that I intended to happen since I've been here that have not happened. I planned. I planned it so well, Pam. I planned it so well that your daughter and my son and my daughter, that they would interact with each other during the 2 years that I've been here. That was one of my plans. I had that's I had it written down, and I had little things planned. It was gonna be rewarding, and it was gonna be in the it was gonna be in the process of uh, while they're over here visiting me or something like that. But that's never happened. I'm so, Pam, I'm so sad that Valerie has won um, uh, all the time. I mean, there's so many people who are on her side, and feel about me the way that she feels about me. There's so many people in Toma that feel this way about me that I did not know that I was despised and hated like I am. I had no idea. I mean, there are so many people who have been my friends. There are so many people who have been friendly to me that Pam, I'm so deeply hurt. I'm talking about Tam. I'm I'm so hurt by the amount of people that I've known in Toma that have acted against me and have done things to me in a negative way that I, I'm 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 so sad. I'm so sad, Pam. I'm so sad. I mean, and even in this place has been such a blessing to me that I could cry while I'm by myself. I don't like to cry in public, but when I'm by myself in this home, this place that you allowed me to be in, I was able to cry my nigger tears here. I was able to cry about the corruption I've experienced that has never, ever, ever been addressed. Nobody, nobody has ever done anything to make the corruption at the Tacoma Police Department stop and make Valerie and her corrupt behavior stop. Nobody has done anything on my behalf to help me. Nobody. And having this place, um, I used to view it as Pam helped me, but I've recently begun to look at it as Pam gets paid a handsome amount to be also part of my demise. That is partly why I'm so sad, because I'm grateful for this place, and I'm never going to not be grateful for my past 2 years here. I've recorded some of the greatest songs that I've ever made in this place. And when I say some of the greatest songs, Pam, listen, I've been here for 2 years and I don't fight anybody. I'm not a physical fighter. I'm not a threatening person. I'm a rapper. All I do and all I've ever done and all I've ever wanted to do is write lyrics and perform my songs. That's all I want to do. My life, I've been in the military. I don't mind being in the military. I don't mind being retired. I don't mind working or not. I don't mind my life because at the end of every day, I take all of the song lyric ideas that I thought about when I get up in the morning. I got song lyrics in my head and I write them down. I no longer listen, listen, listen. When I was in my 20s, Pam, okay, and my son is 10 years old. Nathan is 10. He's going to be 11 in March 2022. Okay, and my son is greater than me. My son is doing things right now that I did not learn to do until I was 15 years old. The boy is 5 years wiser than me already. By the time he's 11, he will be 16 years old, Matt. He's 11-year-old Nathan. He's equal in information. He's equal in education, meaning even though I was 16 or 15, not saying that education wise in school, I'm talking about education in himself. Listen, because the most important thing, Pam, in terms of education in life is knowing who you are. Me knowing who I am, that's the most important thing. And that's why I take my recordings very seriously. Okay? My recordings are me. I'm going to die one day, and my recordings are going to live on forever. Woody Allen is going to die one day, and his movies will live on forever. Everybody, you're going to die. And when you die, what happens? All of the money that you've gained from me being here, all the money that you've gained from all of the other veterans that you've helped, you get to take all that money and give it to Ella. And I'm happy about that. That is that's what life is about. Life is about setting your children up forever. My father did what he could to set me up forever. I had a father. I was Nathan's age when my parents split up. I was Nathan's current age when the divorce was final and we were living with my father. My mother stopped being a douchebag and accepted that my father was going to raise me and my sisters. When I was 16, my father and I had a disagreement. And my father is such an honorable man, Pam, that he told me, Matt, you have two choices. Either you're going to take a spanking with a belt, or you're going to go live with your mother. And my father honored that ultimatum. He honored that agreement. I chose to live with my mother because I don't like being touched by anybody with a weapon, not even my father. I don't like being spanked. I don't, I've had to deal with my father spanking me all the way until I was 15 years old. And when I became 16 years old, first of all, I don't do things to earn spankings. When my father spanked me, he wasn't always spanking me based on things I did. He would spank me because of things that he wanted or his frustration. Some of the spankings I received from age 10, when I was Nathan's courage age, up to age 15, some of the spankings I received had nothing to do with me and my actions, but it had everything to do with my father and his feelings, his emotions, what happened to him during the day, what happened to him at the hands of a woman, what happened to him at the hands of some of the white people he had to work with. Because I didn't know what my father dealt with all day. I did not know until I became an adult. Because my father and I worked together when I was 21. We worked together for a year, and then we worked again together for another year, both as a truck driver. And my father's a great man. I would never ever say, I never ever say that my father physically abused me because he did not abuse me. He loves me to this day. The reason why I've been able to function throughout I've been able to function over the past 2 years with the help of my father and with the help of my mother. Both of them are aging, just like everybody ages. Um, my parents, Pam, they're 69 and 65, and both in their own way have embraced their mortality and are in the process of of ending. They're in the process of 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 putting the period on their lives. And I'm not. They're not. You know, committing any type of suicide or anything like that. But when an old person gets older and older and older, and the limitations of their life is are when the limitations of your life are greater than the quality of your life, I know you got to be thinking about mortality. I know I've thought about my mortality when the things I'm dealing with are higher than the quality of the life that I got at that time. And you think it's over. That happened to me on two occasions in my life. And it also happened while I was here at this place multiple times. I've been scared here, Pam. But back to my son and back to our experience. My son has the ability to communicate with me, his father, and with Valerie, his mother, and with human beings that are around him. My son is able to communicate with people as a 10-year-old and soon as an 11-year-old. He's able to communicate with people very logically, very succinctly, very comfortably, um, easy with ease. It doesn't even it rolls off of his. He knows how he feels, and he knows how to communicate it. He is able to do with his words and his vocabulary and his vernacular and his body of understanding, his body of knowledge. He's able to do what I was able to do only at 15 going to 16. In other words, when my father gave me the choice of spanking me or letting me move out, I had within the past 6 months of that time received my last spanking from my father. And the spanking that I received from him, Pam, the spanking I received from him was, it was about me uh, uh, violating his curfew rule. Oh my God, I've never told this story the way I'm about to tell it, Pam. So when I usually tell this story, Pam, I've done it on stage as a comedian, which I'm training myself to be a comedian. I'm a rapper, and I'm definitely a broadcaster or podcaster, definitely, as expressed by my neighbors who have tolerated me. Um, but I've when I tell this story on stage, it's this story I'm about to tell you is usually called, or is the subtitle of it is my last butt whooping, and it's I usually tell the story that my last butt whooping had an audience. Um, you know, um, uh, I had a lady. Her name was Sheree S. Uh, I don't know if I don't know if it was SH or CH because we never wrote letters to each other like anything like that. Um, so this is like 1992, I believe. Um, I'm 16. No, I'm 15. I'm 15, and uh, during my age 15, that's when I became sexually active. So I'm either 15 or 16, and part of me believes I was 15, but um, uh, another part of me, I mean, the year of 16 and the year of 15, 365 days is a lot of days, but it's not that many. So when I think about everything that has happened during my high school years, I feel like it was an 8 year time span, not a 4 year time span. Okay, I graduated high school in 4.5 years, or 4 years and 4 years and 2 semesters. Oh my God, is that? Wait a minute, is it 4 semesters in a year or 2 semesters? Oh no, Pam. Oh no. Oh no. I graduated in 5 years. Oh no. In other words, I took one summer class while I was working, and I took one class, or maybe I didn't take another. Yeah, I took. I did two. I had three classes I believe I had to take, and I took either one during the summer and two during night school, or two during the summer and one during night school. And then I graduated. I finished the class, in I don't know December, because it wasn't I think I don't know if I had taken it at college or whatever, but to finish those last three classes to get to earn, I walked across the stage, and I graduated with my peers, but I had three more classes I needed to do, and so or two classes that I remember perfectly later, because I got my high school transcripts, I got everything, um, and so then I was able to, after that, I was able to leave and go to the military in March, the same month that my son was born. March is an important month, you know what I'm saying, to me. So my son being born in March and me being mobilized in the month of March, I'm sorry, me going into the military in the month of March, my son is branded, man. My son is so special to me. And just like I said, a son or a daughter, but I'm talking about my son right now because my son, Nathan more than you know Naomi. Everybody knows Nathan more than they know Naomi because Naomi is younger, and it's like, who is this girl now? So, but my last butt whooping, I make I have a kind of a bit. I do a comedy bit about it because I had an audience. I had somebody. Um, I had somebody. Sheree was sitting outside the window while I'm getting a spanking. So I've never told it the way I'm about to tell you now. I've usually told it as a joke, which means I don't really tell all the parts of it because if you're telling a joke, you cut out the particulars. Who cares if I'm 15 or 16? You know what I'm saying? I just when I was in high school, you just know what high school it is. You know about high school hijinks. You know what I'm saying? It's the art of storytelling that I was crafting while I was here in your place. I was uh, helping myself grow because in order for me to be able to make it to my next level, and that is of not being homeless anymore, I have to get to know myself in that way. I've got to get to know myself because I'm retired military now, and I no longer have to report to anybody. I no longer have to kiss up to anybody. I no longer have to feel bullied because in the military I've been bullied multiple times by bosses. I bullied at home, living with Valerie. Valerie's a bully, you know? And that's the thing. I've got so many recordings of Valerie bullying me, and that's why I'm deeply hurt about how the entire Toma has treated me, especially with the people who I thought were friendly. White people in Toma have forked tongues towards me. They, in my face, they're nice to me. But then, not even behind my back, they screw me over right in my face. But they use a forked tongue to do it. It's happened so much that it's made me realize that Toma is never, ever, ever gonna not be corrupt like this when it comes to me. I have to just enjoy the fact that I'm alive, and I've got to enjoy the good parts of my day. I can't expect the Toma Police Department to actually ever serve and protect me. They will always, always, the Toma Police Department will never, ever, ever treat me like a Toma resident until I have a lot of money. In other words, once I'm able to demonstrate that I am wealthy or that I have a bunch of money and that I have the power to have 5 people at that Talma Police Department fired, until I'm able to demonstrate that, they're never going to serve and protect me. They're always going to harass me and bully me. They're going to they're going to come to this place. They're comfortable because some police officers, Pam, they they have a rapport with you enough to come to this place and stake it out. You don't even understand, Pam, how disabling it is to watch police officers watch me, to watch them harass me, to watch them stalk me. You don't know because you don't have to know. Because police officers, they don't stalk you. Police officers like you. Police officers give you the benefit of the doubt, even if you do something wrong, even if you do something illegal, Pam. Police in Toma are not going to do anything about it. Nobody's going to do anything about anything that you do illegal. Nobody is. I've got to accept that because even when I'm not doing anything illegal, police come to this place because you and police are friends. You're friends or friendly enough. HUD-VASH and Section 8, they are protective of you. They'll never do the right thing that I might complain about. They'll never do it because the relationships in Toma that are all interconnected, everyone has decided that Matthew is to be discriminated against. We're not going to say we're discriminating against him. We're going to fork tongue it. We're going to let Matt be discriminated against, and we're not going to do anything about it. We're going to let him be harassed by the police, and we're going to help the police cause him to what they call snap, because Matt is supposed to be mentally ill. That's what he's supposed to be. So let's get him to snap. And then everything I do is within the boundaries of First Amendment because I don't snap. No, I've heard you say, no, if you've heard me loud, it's because I'm recording. If you've heard me upset, it's because I'm recording. Because when I'm recording, I get to put my feelings about the harassment and the discrimination and the corruption, which is the only thing that I'm going after. I'm only going after the corruption. I'm not going after the discrimination. Discrimination is legal. If discrimination was illegal, then there are things that you would be in trouble for by the laws that say it's illegal to discriminate. HUD-VASH would have talked to you about discrimination. Um, Section 8 would talk to you about discrimination. But the reason why you, Pam, and the reason why all the different people here in Toma, the reason why is because even though there are words on a book, words on a website, words on a page, words in the earth, in American Earth, Earth American Library of words about what's called discrimination and how it's supposedly wrong, that does not apply to Matthew. That applies to others because others have been able to speak it and say, this is what's happening. And the people who discriminate and the people who are the discriminators, they get justice puts a foot in their behind, but not me. In other words, if I complain, no one does anything. They fork tongue it. They get as much information from me to find out what my next move is. That's all they do. Everyone is suspect. Everyone. Everybody is suspect. And it's not me being paranoid because I've never been a paranoid person. I'm an observant person. And that's why people despise me because I have watched, Pam, I've watched from this place, when I leave this place and I go around Toma, I have interacted with people who do drugs. I don't do drugs, but I watch people. They're walking around high, they're walking around drunk, and police never mess with them. Wow. A friend of mine that I don't regard him as a friend, I shouldn't even call him a friend. He's a dude I know that I don't like being around. But I helped him move one time, and he sticks around he's around me like a pubic hair in the shower. It's like, what are you doing here? The only way he got caught by a DUI is not because the police were around him. He got caught with his DUI because he hit a car head on collision style. Whoa. And guess what? Nothing happened to him. He's still driving. Police don't mess with him. Me, I sit in the house and I scream into a recording. Threats, jail. Wow. 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 Discrimination is okay in Toma when it comes to me. Matthew, your tenant, is not to be protected from like the others. Your other tenants, they feel comfortable complaining to you about me, even though some of the things that they complain about are not me, but I fit the caricature. Because you hear the way I'm recording? I've been doing this for a long time. And any loudness that I do that's here is exactly the same as the loudness of your other tenants. But because Toma feels the way it feels about me, I have to be above perfect in order to make it so that everybody else is comfortable. No one allows themselves to be uncomfortable on my behalf. Everyone does whatever they can to advance, trying to make me go to jail. Everyone does what they can to help me lose my life. Because anytime a white person calls the police on a black person, that black person's life is in danger. And then, if the black man survives it, which I have survived it, if my own landlord does things against me like I feel that you have, I I have to cry into my pillow about it because I can't even show my sadness, because my sadness is upsetting to other people. I'm not able to show my emotions the way that white people around me are able to show their emotions. They show their emotions and they use their emotions to make decisions that violate my rights, and no one does anything about it. I show my emotions by recording a First Amendment type recording. I'm a paralegal. My words are never threatening. Don't you remember the global war on terror? That made it so you can't say certain words when you're going through the airport. If you even say the word, then the TSA and the airport overreacts. So I've trained my mind and trained my vocal cords so that no one should overreact to what I say. But people have a desire against me, so they'll take my words and create things that aren't there. They'll take my circumstances and create things against me. It's called confirmation bias. My next door neighbor, the old white lady, when she first moved in, I helped her move things in. She thanked me and she said, "Hey, come over later and I'll make some meal for you." She never made that meal. She fork-tongued it. In other words, she was able to get my help, but she didn't have to honor what she said to me. I never called her on it. Whatever. When when her family members are not around, I took her trash down to the corner. I don't do that because, or I didn't do that because she asked me to. I did it because, hey, it's Monday. Let me do this. The guy upstairs, he tries to pull out money to give it to me like I'm his boy or something. Like, yo, you don't have to give me no money for that. Because he was benefiting from it, because he's a lazy guy and he gets to come down and smoke a cigarette, but he doesn't have to be disciplined to bring the garbage cans down to on Monday or whatever, because I'm the black guy. He doesn't have to do that. He asked me, he said, "Yo, when you gonna get some internet?" I said, "When I can afford it." He said, "Well, when you can, I'll give you a few dollars on it." So I carried the flame, and when I was able to afford to get internet, I went to him and said, hey, I'm I think I can afford internet next month. Are you ready to do what you said? He said, oh, I already got internet. What? Now, I never said to him, hey, you asked me to share my internet with you, and I said I'll do it. And as I was keeping my word to you, you got internet and you never offered me the same deal. In other words, you're willing to fork tongue me. Now, it's not illegal for him to do that. It may be immoral because he's never shared his internet with me, nor have I asked him to. But he exposed to me his heart, like the lady exposed to me her heart. The other lady, that's the pregnant lady, her dog hates me. Every time her dog sees me, the dog overpowers her to some degree and is coming after me to bite me. You have no idea how scary it is, Pam, for you to have a mat hating dog, a mat hating neighbor above me, and a mat hating neighbor next to me. Thank you, Pam, for putting these people around me. Because what it did to me is it hindered my ability to be myself. I've never been a loud person because whatever place I'm at, I respect everybody. Jamie, who was next door, she's never had a problem with me. And whenever she had a problem with me, for any reason, she comes and knocks on the door and she respects me. But my upstairs neighbor doesn't respect me. And you put him there knowing what I do. You know what I do. You've known ever since you met me that I'm a musician, that I'm an artist. And you know I'm a good person. But you can fork tongue me, Pam. And my neighbor can fork tongue me. And my other neighbor, she can fork tongue me. And my other neighbor, she can have a dog that is violent and has not had a chance to violently whatever. Now, one of the things I want to do on my way out of here is I have 2 cans of dog food that somehow came to me. So I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to give her the dog food. And I'm going to write her a note. And I'm going to do the same thing for Ben. Ben has called me a nigger before. I've got the audio and video of him calling me the N-word. But nobody is going to tell him. I know his name, Matt. He knows me as nigger. I mean, his name is Ben. Benjamin. Ben. I know his name is Ben. He knows me as nigger downstairs. That's how he knows me. Ask him, or you don't have to ask him. He's already told you. People can disrespect me to my face, and no one does anything on my behalf. It would have been so nice, Pam, if you called me and talked to me about things as opposed to allowing the Toma Police Department, who are your friends or something. White people lie to me all the time. White people fork tongue me all the time, Pam. I am always truthful. I don't lie to white people. I don't lie to my son. I don't lie to anybody. I don't need to lie. But I see now that in order for me to be successful, like Pam, you're successful, and like my neighbors are successful, because out of the 15% that are black, only 1.5% are truly wealthy. Out of the 350 million Americans, the percentage of whites, when you just break down to white people, meaning your skin color, the skin color of all of my neighbors have the same skin color that's considered white. On the census, they put down white, or they live their lives white. They know at least that they're not me. They're not a nigger. Me. They're not that. They know that they're not a nigger. They know that. That's at minimum. So whatever the this shut up. You know that you have the white part that you can operate with. The Tomo Police Department. There are no black people at the Tomo Police Department. All of everybody there is white. Everybody in the school district. I have never met anybody that's white. I mean, that's black. I've never met anybody that's black in the school district. Everybody's white. My son, for multiple years in this school, he's been the only black child in the school. And he's experienced at his level what I've experienced at my level, which makes my son it makes my son sad, but he can't talk about it, just like I can't talk about it. My son has experienced racism at his level by his fellow white children. And you, Pam, you don't have to do anything about it. Just like the racism that I've experienced in your property, you don't have to do anything about it. Because if you did do things about it, if you helped me, you'd be considered a nigger lover. And that is a brand you cannot afford to have. As Pam Melby, as a Toma Police Department officer, as any white person, you have to fork tongue with a nigger. You have to. You cannot betray white people for a nigger. Once you do that, you're forever branded a nigger lover. I know that that's true because I've interacted with enough white people and got the details. If it's not true, Pam, if it's not true, then you'll vocalize it to me. People will say, fork tongue wise, they'll say, listen, I'm never, and we never always, you'll say, because that's fork tongue. You got to say that. You can't let the charge of racism stay on you. No, you got to get that off you. You got to get it off you. You can't let somebody wipe a booger on you. You got to get that off you. I get it. That's how the fork tongue works. The fork tongue is, to me, you say the company line. You say the American line. But to others, you say and or do the things that continue the discrimination and the racism. You don't have to say with your tongue, nigger. You don't have to say that. All you have to do is not let the nigger's complaint be validated. That's how. When I say this is what I'm experiencing, nobody hears it. They hear I'm making noise, but they don't hear what I'm making noise about. Wow. How do you stand by and watch a nigger get negative treatment even though he's an American just like you? We treat everybody fair. You don't, because I have experienced unfair treatment and nobody in Toma is doing anything about it because I'm a nigger and I've had to accept my niggardness. I've had to accept it. And that's what I've spent the past year, 2 years here doing. In this place, I've never felt like a nigger until I've lived here in your property, Pam. I've been called it while I was living at 840 Cranberry, which I just figured out that you and the property manager over at 840, you guys are related. Now I understand when I saw something from her, Missy, when I saw her name on something, I understand now. I understand now why she was treating me like a nigger back in 2015 when I moved in there. Missy has been treating me like a nigger since 2015. But I did not know why with her forked tongue. I didn't know why. I thought I was equal with whites in Toma. I thought I was because Missy uses her forked tongue so well. It took from 2015 until 2021 for me to finally figure out, oh my God, she's this. Missy will never admit that, but Missy admitted it to me through her emails. Other whites are smart enough to not say anything. So then I have to wonder for years, like with Missy. But Missy, she don't take no mess from no nigger. She doesn't. So she vocalizes it. I was called a nigger just 2 days ago by by a white man who wanted money from me. He told me, he said, "You're not a dumb nigger." Wow. But Pam, hearing that, I could tell you who it is. And guess what? You would know him. I've worked with his son. His son and me are not far apart in age. This man is practically my father's age. He's younger than my father, I think, or whatever. But my father has helped me so much by helping me understand that white people have the money, white people have the power, white people have the guns, white people uh, 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 have the money, the power, the guns, and they have the coons, meaning people like Valerie. Valerie is what they call a coon. That is a black person that is a token that is able to, they're able to be used by white people to harass a nigger that they want to get. It's in the Willie Lynch letter, which I don't understand why so many white people don't know or fake like they don't know about the Willie Lynch letter. I don't know about that. And guess what? You don't have to. The reason why you don't have to know about the Willie Lynch letter, the reason why white people don't have to know about black experience is because for a little while you're the majority. But there are white people who are worried about the birth rates. And this is one of the things that I'm grateful for. Because by the time my son is in his mid 20s, Pam, while I was here, I got me some hope. Let me go to the hope for a minute. This concept that I'm about to say is so simple, but it's very, very complex for my nigger mind. Believe me. Listen, what I'm about to say right now is some highfalutin niggers don't know this stuff. I shouldn't even know this stuff. But the reason why I do is because I don't look at myself as a nigger. When I look in the mirror, when I look in the mirror, Pam, I don't see nigger. When people look at me, they say it. It's in the back of their head. They may not say it with their forked tongue, but everybody knows I'm a nigger. Matter of fact, I've earned the title in 2021. I've earned the title uppity nigger. I wasn't uppity in 2020. When I moved in here, I was not an uppity nigger. I was a homeless veteran nigger. But now I'm an uppity nigger. Listen, I'm not a homeless nigger. I'm an uppity nigger. Forget the veteran part. Forget that. I'm an uppity, capital word, capital letters, EPPITY. EPPITY. I'm an uppity nigger. When I look in the mirror, even since I've been here, I don't see nigger. I see Matt. I see Matthew. I see Nathan's father. When I see Pam Melby, I don't see Honky. I don't see Cracker. I don't see it. Here's what I see. I see Pam Melby and I can see Ella's face. I can see the parts of her face that has your face in it. She's just as beautiful as you are, Pam. And if life had if life had been different and I did not marry my fat black coon Valerie and I were around and you didn't have any children, you didn't have any anybody, and you and I met somewhere, the only thing, listen, I I've never been a person that hit on women like, hey, but now that I'm 45 and single and ready to mingle, now that my uppityness has upped itself. Listen, Pam, I'm the most uppity nigger that you're going to meet in Toma. And it's not over. Listen, my uppityness is going to the next level because I've learned more and more about the corruption in Toma, and I've learned more and more about the First Amendment, and I've learned more and more about that there are so many entities that actually do know what to do about discrimination. They know what to do about corruption, which is that's the word I go after is corruption. I don't care about discrimination, but there's some people that care about discrimination. Even white people, that's their jobs. And they, because they're white, they know exactly what to do and exactly how to phrase it. And I got too many white friends who are anti-racist. Do you know how wonderful it is to have lawyers that have been my friends since I was 20, 25, 27, 29, I'm 45. These lawyers are still in my life and they are anti-racist and they have enjoyed white privilege and they say, Matt, I'm going to give my white privilege to you. What did you say, Mr. White Man, friend of mine? He says, Matt, Matt, let me know what you need and I'm on it. What? You're letting me boss you around? Matt, you let me boss you around? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Master Sergeant. Do you know, Pam, how amazing it is? That's why I didn't go to Sergeant Major. Okay? That's why I didn't become an officer. I said, stop, wait a minute. What's my rank? Master Sergeant. Oh, listen to me, Pam. The proper, even though in the back of everybody's mind, I'm a nigger, even, but here's what I am on paper. Here is what every person in America should call me, and what every person in America has to call me. Listen, President Obama, number 44. That's what you call him. President Trump, 45. President, they're not expert. None of these guys were impeached. Even Trump was not impeached fully. Clinton was not impeached fully. Clinton and Trump had the same level of impeachment. It was just in one of the legislative houses, not both. So Nixon resigned. So he's ex-President Nixon, but he's still president. You still honor. Okay? Police officer. When you retire as a police officer, they say retired police officer. And you get the horns and you get men with dresses on from Scotland playing bagpipes or whatever that other name of that instrument is. So here's the name that I earned that overrides nigger. And listen, I'm about to brand this. Here's my proper name. Okay, Pam? Here's my proper name. It's retired Master Sergeant Matthew Walker. That's my name. That's the proper name, the proper salutation that I've discerned, that I've earned, and that you, Pam Melby, you are Pam Melby, comma, my landlord. My name is Matthew Walker, comma, the retired Master Sergeant. When I interact with you, I say, how you doing, ma'am? What people should say to me when I say, how you doing, ma'am? How you doing, retired Master Sergeant Matthew? Or Master Sergeant Matt? Or retired Master Sergeant Matt? That's a lot of words. That's a lot of words. So abbreviated, just call me Matt. But I'm going to find a way to make it so that people call me Master Matt. Because I'm a master of my own destiny. I'm a master of my own emotions. I'm a master of my words. I'm a master of my lyricism. I'm a master rapper. I'm a master rapper. Okay? I'm a master podcaster. I'm a master rapper, master podcaster. I'm a master rapper, master podcaster with a full, fun life after my military life. Call me by my real name, Pam. It's hard for white people to call a black man Master Sergeant. Ooh, it's tough. Some of my black friends can't even do it. I got a black man friend he's on my team. His name is Nick. Do you know that he's been knowing me since 2010? He's been knowing me before that, but in 2000, when we met in 2003, we were the same rank. He was like E5, I was E6, or I was E5. Both of us were E5s, and I became E6 or whatever. We were both basically the same rank in 2003. In 2010, when we met up, he was an E6, and I was an E8 Master Sergeant. Okay, and life is a lot easier as a Master Sergeant than it is for a Sergeant First Class. I've met so many E7s that find out I'm a Master Sergeant, and they're like, what the? I've been dealing with that for years. I'm so experienced in the shock that white people have that I'm a master Sergeant Walker. Master Sergeant Matt. Ooh, it's tough. They want to call me Sergeant. I just spent 3 weeks in proximity of a white guy who told a bunch of white people because of his own insecurities. He told all the white people in the room, he said, listen, no, he told all the black people. There was black people too. He was just talking to the black people. He didn't say this to the white people because the white people know you're full of crap when you say that. He told a room full of black people, okay, this white guy, let me see what his name. His name was John. He told a room full of black people. He told a room full of black people. Okay. He said to them, he said, listen, black people, that guy is a master sergeant in the military. And when I was in the military, I only served for, 2 years, 2.5 years. And I made it to E5. He served in the military for 25 years and he made it to master sergeant. Whew. And usually I treat black people a certain way because I'm greater than them. But this guy, whew, he's a master sergeant. I can't even, inside, I have respect for the military. Okay, I got a lot of military friends. Whew, whew, whew. This guy is a master sergeant. Okay, but listen. This ain't got nothing to do with what we're working on. What I'm about to tell you guys ain't got nothing to do. We're here for this reason, but I got to take 7 minutes to share this with you guys. Ooh, I've been listen, this is not part of the class, so don't write this down. I just got to say this out loud that in front of him and in front of all you black people. That listen, even though he outranked me in the military, while y'all around me, I'm a general, and he's nothing. Yeah, I only attained the rank of E5, which is 1, 2, 3. It's way below master sergeant. Ooh, I don't even like saying master to the. Okay, listen. Okay, so here's the thing. When in the military, when a bunch of we just call them sergeant. We call everybody. So I was a sergeant, and so we call even the master sergeant. We don't say all the extra stuff. We say, hey sergeant, and they say, hey sergeant. So that's the way. Okay, I feel a little bit better about myself that I got a chance to prostrate this nigger. I can't. Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to say that out loud. Listen. I'm sorry. Okay, listen. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna take about a 15-minute break. That happened while I was taking a class about some stuff because I study myself, and I couldn't believe that one of my instructors felt that way. All I did was walk into the room. All I did was participate in his non his class was not his class was not at all required. But I did it because it was offered. And that's what I got. I got a dose of his insecurity. And I believe from a religious standpoint, I believe that blacks and whites are given the unique blessing that other so-called races are not. Blacks and white in America, I think we've been given the greatest opportunity to do something so influential across the world. But a lot of white people are too afraid to do it. And that's why my son, being as intelligent as he is, I'm happy about it because I'm his dad, but I'm very scared for him because he's not white. If I could change my son's skin color So he blends, and when Ella looks at him, Ella sees a version of herself, so that she's not instantly angrified about her at some point in her life. Because all white people have a nigger lover test that they have to pass or fail, depending on how you look at it. You've got a nigger lover test. And I'm going to be honest with you, Pam. I feel that uh, uh, for the 2 years that I've been here, I feel that now listen, I'm saying nigger lover test. You've never heard of that. This is not like Jim Crow laws. You've never benefited, Pam, personally from Jim Crow laws. You've never benefited from it. Okay? You don't even know why Jim Crow is called Jim Crow unless you know. If you know, then you know. But if you don't know, then you probably don't know. I know because Jim Crow laws affected me, and it affected my dad, and it affected my grandfather, all of whom are great men. I'm a great man because my dad was a great man. My dad was a great man because my grandfather was a great man. And Nathan is greater than all of us. That boy is not a boy to me. That boy, only reason why I started saying boy lately is because I've been around a lot of white people. I did an interview with a white guy. You know how if you go on Superior, there's an Amish and things, or Amish store that sells Amish stuff. These white people sell Amish stuff, and so I did an interview with the owner and the owner's dad, right? And the owner's father, he started it. He was the second. He was he the. I got the owner's dad and I got the owner, and then I got one of the employees. I got so much footage. My children were like, "Dad, why are you talking to these people? We want to go to the parade." I said, "I'm so sorry, son. But I got to do this, okay? Because the old white man is talking about his son. Okay, the son is old and the dad is old. And when two old white people look like brothers, but they're father and son, you gotta capture that on video. Okay, listen, listen, let me tell you something. Two old white people that look like brothers, and you find out that one is the father and one is the son. I said, get on camera. I don't want to neglect my children, but these two white people, I need to. Now I'm being facetious. They didn't look exactly like brothers, but you understand what I'm saying. I'm cracking a joke. So these these white people, the elder, the dad, he said something that was so precious to me about his son. I asked the question. I said, "Why did you name him his name?" It's in the video, so I mean, uh, if you just look up Matt Ellipsis Amish, you'll see that video. I said, I said, I asked why did you name him that? And he looked over. He said, because he was a cute baby boy. I said, oh, or whatever he said. I'm quoting him wrong because I don't have to remember it because it's video. All I got to do is, if I want to remember it, I look it up. That's why I have such a great memory, because if I don't do a video about it, then it stays in my mind. I do the video, then I don't have to think about it no. I record the song, I ain't got to think about it no more. You see what I'm saying? So I record so much because I have so many ideas. I never let any of my ideas fall. Every idea that comes out of my brain, I write it down and plan for it. Okay? I don't dream at night. The reason why I don't dream, I don't know for sure. The reason why I don't dream is because I always make and create what's in my imagination all the time. I never sit on any of my ideas. I never sit on guilt. I never sit on shame. I never sit on negative emotions. Anything that I feel that would torment me because my conscience or whatever, I write that down and I do something about it. So then I go to sleep. I don't dream. I just wake up. I go to sleep and wake up. Oh man, I had all these dreams. I'm like, wait, huh? Really? Talk to me about your dreams. Because I don't understand dreaming. I really don't. I don't, no, I understand it logically, but I'm not a dreamer. I don't have a dream life. Everybody dreams. No, you dream. I don't need to dream. because I write everything down. All of my dreams are on m3dots.com. Everything I dream about, if it was going to be a dream, it's a song. My life, I'm not an angry guy. I'm a songwriter. And a songwriter goes through the emotions and he puts it into, I'm a songwriter. And oh my God, I started writing other stuff. Oh, my life is so wonderful. All right, block me from my children. Guess what? I can make more. I still have semen in my nuts. I'll make more children. Remember, children don't matter. In slavery days, the white slave master would rape the black women in slavery. But right now it's called human trafficking. It's called human trafficking. That same white man who tried to devalue me in front of other blacks, that same white man wanted me to be passionate about human trafficking. Now listen, I've already done my help for human trafficking. I've already done it. I gave at the office already. But he wants me to feel the way he feels. Just like he wants me to feel belittled. Listen, I already feel belittled. I already know you look at me as a nigger. You've been in the military for 2.5 years, 3 years, and you call yourself a general to me during our class because it makes you feel better. You're not doing that for my benefit. You're screaming at me. Listen, no, I'm not finna go into it. I'm not finna go into this guy. This guy deserves his own episode. He don't deserve to be in the episode where I'm thanking you, pal. He doesn't deserve to be in it. But my son, my son has the vocabulary, okay, that I'm proud of. He's astute. He's, like I said, he speaks the way that when you talk to Nathan, you're talking to a 14, 15, 16-year-old Matthew. I have an idea in my mind that my son does not get the same nigger in the back of everybody's mind that meets him. I have a feeling that the word nigger only applies to me and it doesn't apply to my son by the white people that know him. That is one thing that I want to know officially. That's really the only thing that I want to know. Everything else, I already know it. You know, listen, people go tell me a whole bunch of stuff. And because I'm so experienced at fork tongue talk, I'm so experienced at it. That's another reason why the Toma Police Department and others do me bogus, because I'm too experienced at fork tonguery, right? My coon wife, Valerie, my coon ex-wife, Valerie, she knows how to talk fork tongue better than some white people. Okay, she's really good at fork tonguery. That's what she's got her master's degree in, is in fork tonguery and communications. Valerie, my ex-wife, I have to salute her fork tonguery ability, because she got y'all whites in Toma hating one of the greatest treasures in Toma. I am a national treasure hanging around with y'all in Toma. And I'm so disrespected, and it's okay. Because guess what? The same way that the whites in Toma have treated me is the same way that the religious people treated Jesus. And there's a scripture that talks about the fellowship of his sufferings and blah, 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 you know. Because Christianity really isn't real, isn't it? It's not really real. Because if it was, then the white people in Toma who are religious, they would use their forked tongues, both tongues, for the Lord. But they don't. They say to the Lord, I love you, Lord. And use their other tongue to, I'm going to get this nigger. Do you know how wonderful it is to interact with a white person who's a Christian, who says all all of the Christian stuff that you're supposed to say. When I, as a white person, meet a black person, I need to first make, Kirk Brown did it perfectly. You make sure that you know, hey, I had some black people in my house, so I'm not racist. Listen, I've got black people doing this and that and the other, and I got interracial because I'm not. So listen, all of these things proves white man, Kirk Brown, I'm not a racist. Wow. So, hey, all the black people walking there said, wow, this white man's not racist. This is a cool place to be. But then I'm so experienced. Listen, I grew up around white people. I know white people so well. White people don't have to know black people. They don't have to study black people at all. They just listen. Never mind. I'm not forgetting that, Pam. I'm not forgetting that. All I know is that racist Kirk Brown is my coon ex-wife's master. I'm the master sergeant, and she goes to Kirk Brown as the master. She eats out of his hand. Now, I don't know if she probably has. He probably, because Kirk Brown is so good at what he does, he probably has put something in his hand and Valerie has bent down and chomped on it. That might have happened. My hope is that my children have not been mistreated by Kirk Brown and his racist church people. That's my hope. My hope is that the white people around my son don't look at him in the back of their mind and say nigger. My hope is that when they see my son, they say Nathan. There have been people who lived here who said, I remember you, you're Nathan's father. Thank you, Lord. That's the thing that's in the back of that lady's mind. She doesn't say nigger because not every white person considers a black person nigger. That's why I know that all white people are not racist. But white people screw up. I'm supposed to snitch on my black friends that do crimes. If I'm running with criminal elements, if a police officer walks up to me and roughs me up, I'm supposed to snitch on my friend to help the white cop get his aim done. If a black cop comes to me, I'm supposed to snitch on my friend so that he can get what he's going to get out of that person. Sometimes they put leverage. If you don't tell me, then I'm going to do this to you. I've had that done by police. If you don't, blah, 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 then I'm putting you in jail. Wow. Okay. White people need to betray their racists. But that's the nigger lover test. That's what I call it. We can make it better. Will you, as a white person, betray racists? And to be honest with you, it's not comfortable to do that. The same way that if I'm around a lot of black people, I can't betray the black people. I can't speak up for Rush Limbaugh or speak up for Trump or speak up for David Duke or speak up for Hitler or speak up for any great white men in this world. I can't speak up for them and talk about the good parts of Hitler, the good parts of Donald Trump, the good parts of these great white men, Rush Limbaugh, Mark Levin, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, these great white men, David Duke, great white man. All of these great white men, Roger Goodell, leader of the NFL, um, what's the guy's name? Let me think. There's so many white men that are great in the earth. Joe Scarborough, John McCain, John McCain to me is one of the greatest white men that's walked in the Senate. Definitely one of the greatest veterans. Oh my God, one of the greatest public servants. That man, listen, when he was treated negatively by Donald Trump, I was mad at Trump on that. You can disrespect everybody. I'd rather you disrespect the nigger than disrespect John McCain. Come on. And Donald Trump has done nice things for black people, but I can't get with you disrespected John McCain. I can't get with you on that. Wait a minute. John McCain went up against Obama. Will you forget about that for a minute, please? John McCain. Man, I don't finna turn this about. I got a whole thing about John McCain. Man, John McCain. I love me some John McCain. It's a great man. Danny Nobles, who was the leader, he was the post commander in 2003 at Fort McCoy. He got a bunch of military people to stand behind George W. Bush and helped him win Wisconsin. Danny Noble's a great man. George W. Bush, a great man. Many of the men and women that have gone across the fight in Iraq and Afghanistan, those are great men and great women. Many of them white. These great white, Wayne Kling in Toma, great white man. I don't, when I think of these people, I don't look in the back of my head and say cracker or whitey or uh, honky or anything like that. I don't care. Richard, no. Christopher Hitchens, great white man. Great white man I can learn from. And if white people could do that about black people, just, you don't have to like the person's ideology to recognize their greatness. John McCain, he's somebody that I will speak up about him on my platform publicly whenever somebody listens to my words, because people don't listen to me. People don't listen to me and do anything like for me. I've learned that I've got people that hate listen to me. Oh my God. This is a weird place in my life right now. So this is an episode of my show, Pam. This is just what I do. So you don't have to listen to this. You can stop listening. It's not a big deal. I can always edit and make a 3-minute, thank you, Pam, thank you, Pam, thank you, Pam, and then it's done. But I make my episode. This is not um this is not um this is not unhealthy to talk about racial things. It's not unhealthy. It is very good. It's very healthy. It's profitable to everybody to talk. I love to sit down and talk because everything we do involves talking. Movies, you have to write the dialogue. News, you got to write the script. I was a news anchor. And the problem that whites are getting ready to deal with, or whites are dealing with, is what's called the declining birth rate. That's what gives me hope. Because my son, whether whites regard him as a nigger, or if whites regard him as Nathan, the greatest black man in Toma. That's my son's title. I don't want him to live in Toma anymore. But Valerie does. Because Valerie, to me, is the greatest coon in Toma. Which makes it so that my son is eligible to be a Chicken George. And I don't want that to happen. If my son was with me, he wouldn't be a Chicken George. But my son is already speaking Chicken George type language. I speak like an Uncle Tom. If you've ever read the book of Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe, that book has turned, that book is better than the Bible when it comes to making black people like me feel like a human being and not feel like an animal. The Bible has made me feel inside good about myself. Because of the Bible, I don't see nigger when I look at myself. I only recognize and acknowledge my niggardness when it comes to white people in my life. When I'm around blacks, I know, and the black people I know, we all recognize that we're not niggers. We'll say it, nigga and nig and nigra. We'll say that stuff. Because just like Negro spirituals confused white people and helped Uncle Tom's Cabin get written, that's right. You don't have Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe without Negro spirituals. The blues that white people love, BP Smokehouse, the blues are a version of Negro spirituals. You don't have the Civil War without Negro spirituals. And Negro spirituals are like what I do with my music. It's the interaction with the Lord through your soul, your mind, will, emotions, intellect, memory, through a hum. Now, any white person that heard this, what I just did, you don't know what I said. But the black people that might have heard this, they got me loud and clear. That's the power of a Negro spiritual. That's one of the elements of the blues. And that's why BP Smokehouse is so successful in Toma, because Negro spirituals begat Uncle Tom's Cabin, Harriet Beecher Stowe. And Harriet Beecher Stowe, Uncle Tom's Cabin, begat the Civil War, which is reenacted on an annual basis by a bunch of whites. The Civil War begat me living in Toma. And at every stage, since slavery was implemented in America, chattel slavery, every stage of America's development, Black people have had to, we've had to do that. It looks like rap right now. And it looks like music that white people despise. But all it does is this: it adds to the solution. The solution started in, it started there. And begat declining birth rate of whites. And white people, Pam, you're not part of this problem, because the declining birth rate of whites, you're not doing anything about it. And you shouldn't. Most white people that I personally interact with, just regular day to day, they have no idea about this problem. It's high level whites that know about this problem. High level whites are broadcasters. I've heard Tucker Carlson talk about this problem. And as he disseminates it to whites, then they learn about it. I learned about this problem from two different people. Personally. One was Mexican and one was white. And guess who told me first? The Mexican guy. Because where I lived at, listen, listen, what I'm about to tell you, listen, Black people and white people, what I'm about to tell you right now is one reason why you can relax, Black people. Listen, you don't have, I'm going to tell you, listen, let me tell you why okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Black people, you don't have to march anymore related to black people getting killed by whites. Listen, if you continue to march, I support you from my bedroom. I will do for all protesters what all of the people in my life who say they love me while I was going through my drama. I'm going to do for all people going through drama. I'm going to do what people do for me. They hit like, click. Or they put the little heart sign. They clicked a heart. Such and such reacted to your post. That's what I do about all civil rights stuff. I hit like. Hey, I need you to do more than just like. I need you to do something about it. I know. I needed my own friends to do something about it. I needed Valerie to stop being a coon. The greatest coon in Toma. I needed Valerie to stop being that. But she's not. She's continuing. So I do my post like. Okay, listen. That's what I'm going to do. Because here's why. What I'm about to tell you right now is the greatest problem that whites face, the greatest problem that whites in America face, this, what I'm about to tell you, is the greatest problem. I don't know if coronavirus was invented to help this problem out. I don't give a flippity dip. I got vaccinated. I'm fine. Cough in my face, breathe in my face, right? Well, some of the people who've been vaccinated, I don't care. Guess what? If I catch it, I'm conquering it because I'm healthy. I take care of myself and I stay away from everybody. I'm in this place by myself. Okay. So here we go. Here we go. You ready for this? The greatest problem that whites face, the first time I heard about it, okay, no, the second time I heard about it was in 2018. I think it was February 2018. I think it was either January, February, or March. I'm still in communication with the guy's father that I met, who I met the guy's father, and I met the guy, and the guy invited me to his conference, and he invited me and gave me a free ticket. Oh my God, that's white privilege. I was a news anchor. So, news anchor, when you're a member of the media, when you're a member of the press, you get privileges. Oh my God, you know where I'm going. I'm a member of the Fourth Estate, Master Sergeant, retired Master Sergeant, comma, member of the Fourth Estate. Listen, the Fourth Estate with the First Amendment, Master Sergeant. Come on now. Y'all don't understand who y'all dealing with. And this is my hobby as my coon, the greatest coon in Toma is Valerie, my ex-wife. That's right. I brought y'all the greatest coon in Toma. She's the greatest token. My ex-wife, listen, everything that comes from me is great. I brought y'all white people to Toma. Toma has its token. It's Valerie. My ex-wife Valerie is the greatest token in Toma. White people don't like being token. Valerie loves it. She loves being a token. She loves being the token. Listen, capital THE, capital TOKEN. Valerie is the greatest token in Toma. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Because listen, as I go through my life, I have to recognize what is. I don't like you talking like that about Valerie. I don't like what Valerie did to me. I wouldn't talk like that if Valerie didn't do the things to me. Guess what? You want me to stop talking about it like that? Go fix what she did. It's been going on for 2 years, in this current iteration, but it's been going on for 15 years, 10 months, 12 days that I was married to her. So nobody, nobody in my life is strong enough to fix Valerie because she doesn't need to be fixed. She is fulfilling God's will for her life, and that is being Toma's token nigger. Bless you, Valerie. Toma's token nigger, Valerie. That's her title. Now, people are not going to say that to her because not everybody understands the term token and what it means. But I do because this is what I've been studying this stuff since I was a teenager. Everything I'm telling you, this ain't me just talking out of my booty cheeks. No, this is me telling you. I'm telling you, world history is playing out. Okay? American history plays out every generation. 200 years ago, Valerie would be doing the same thing. 200 years ago, I'd be doing the same thing. 300 years ago, I'd be doing the same things. If I was born 300 years ago, Valerie would be doing the same thing. Cooning for her master, Master Pastor Kirk Brown. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The greatest token in Toma. Somebody needed that role. I don't know who fit that role before. It wasn't me. I was beloved in Toma for a little while until and, until Valerie came and moved up here. She said, I'm going to be a token somewhere. Valerie has always despised my greatness because she wanted it, but she's never earned her greatness. She's never earned it. Every great thing that Valerie has ever done in her life, it has been extracted from me. She has to put me down in order to lift herself up. She's not self-reliant. She is always a dependent. She's a dependent of her mother. She depends on her mother. She's lived with her own mother for her entire life, even while married to me. So achieving the honor of greatest token in Toma, it's a high honor for her. And she knows it and she flaunts it. Thank you, Toma. Thank you, Pam. Thank you all in Toma for helping Valerie rise to that level. Because, Pam, every single time that you have done things that against me, like the 5-day correction notice that you never gave me the receipt of showing that I made the correction. By you not doing that, you're helping Valerie win as a token. Thank you, because the greater that Valerie is, the better Nathan and Naomi's life is. Exactly. There's only two ways that Black people can be. It's my way and her way. We can't just live a normal life like whites. We can't. We cannot live a normal life. We can't just live a regular life where we never experience racism. We can't. Even Pastor Darren Price in Toma, BP Smokehouse, he's not the greatest token in Toma. He might have been for a little while, but he's overcome so many of the racist hurdles that his greatness is a legend to me. Darren Price, in my mind, is legendary. He's greater than David Duke. He's great as Al Sharpton. He's great as Rush Limbaugh. He's great as so many of the whites I just named and so many Black people that get dishonored. Darren Price is my modern day Martin Luther King. I never walked or lived with Martin Luther King, but I've eaten at BP Smokehouse. Martin Luther King never blessed my family. Darren Price, Pastor Darren Price, owner of BP Smokehouse, he's served my family food and served my family and blessed my family on multiple occasions. Darren Price is one of the greatest men in Toma, white or Black. He's just a great man. He happens to be Black, but he's a great man. Just like Pastor Neil. Pastor Neil over at Evangelical Free. Pastor Neil, in my opinion, if I were having a beauty contest of all pastors, which are the best pastors in Toma, Pastor Neil by far would be the greatest. There's no greater pastor in Toma than Pastor Neil. Pastor Neil is the most amazing pastor in Toma that I've ever met. I'm not saying that Pastor Kirk Brown is not a great man. I call him a racist because of what I know about him. But he's still a great man. Kirk Brown is a great man. Kirk Brown, Darren Price, Pastor Neil. I forgot Neil. Neil. I don't know his. I don't. Neil is his first name. I don't remember his last name. I call him Pastor Neil. Darren Price. I call him Pastor Darren. Kirk Brown. I call him racist Kirk Brown now. I used to call him Pastor Kirk, but I call him now. I call him racist Kirk Brown, racist pastor, master pastor, racist Kirk Brown. That's what I call him. There's other pastors who told me, only by my experience. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but the Lutheran church that is closest to closest to the elementary school. What's the name of it? Forget. Okay. If you go to Burger King, there is a Lutheran church. That lady, she's a pastor at that church. She, I believe, comes in either number 2 or number 3 on my list. You can't have a woman be number 1. You can't do that. Listen, glass ceiling. Every woman that's number 1, you get your tail underneath that glass ceiling. Pastor Neil, you win because you're a man. I'm joking. What I'm saying is, Pastor Neil and this young lady, I can't remember her name. Her husband is a great man. He's a Boy Scout leader. The man can't even fit in the Boy Scout uniform no more. Okay? Her husband is such a great man. I forgot both of their names, but I'm going to remember it because I'm going to go visit them. Listen, I love those two. Those two are such great people. And if I needed them, I think, if I needed them, they might be anti-racist. Pastor Neil, he might be anti-racist. Pastor Neil has done anti-racist things. I could talk to you about 8 different things that I've seen Pastor Neil do that demonstrates his anti-racist ways, and that he is a nigger lover, or better yet, he's an anti-racist. He understands the racism around him. Everybody does. It's natural common knowledge. I was working with my 2 bosses up in at Fort McCoy, and this man, this white man that I've known for years, we were having a conversation, cracking a joke, and an experience happened between me and the older lawyer that I've worked with. I've worked with him, William Kimball. I've worked with William Kimball, a lawyer. I've worked with him since 2009. So we are now at this point. It's after Trump was elected. No, Trump had not been elected yet. So during that season of Trump versus Clinton, but it was still in the primaries or after the primaries, something like that. So that's the time period. So Brian, the other lawyer that was there, he and I started working together in 2013 when I got back to the job. So 2013, whatever time period it is now. So Brian Rue says he cracks a joke about a situation between William Kimball and I that lets me know that he understands that black people have been caricatured to be feared by white people. In other words, white people are scared of blacks, not because black people have done a lot of things to make white people be scared. Whites are scared of blacks because of stereotypes and media and intentional things. He cracked a joke that let me know that he's aware of it. And I said, thank you, Lord. Thank you. I walked out of that. I was so grateful to God that day, because when the forked tongue, when you see one part of the tongue, I see all that all the time. But then when you see the other side of the tongue, of the forked tongue, that's the side that gives me the greatest education. Like when Pam, when you sent that letter to me and you told me I brought it, that was the other side of the forked tongue. I need that, and I'm grateful for it. When I see, when I need an autopsy on all white tongues, because much like your cell phone search history on your smartphone, or your search history on your computer, or all your apps, and the the dick pics that a person has in their phone and stuff like that. If you get somebody's phone, you can learn a lot about them, and you learn about their both personas. You learn about their forked tonguery. I want to be. That's what you can do with a person's tongue. You can a white person's tongue, because in the Bible it talks about the tongue. It says the tongue is like the rudder of a ship that guides the whole body, right? In the Bible it says that it's not what goes into a person that defiles them; it's what comes out of their mouth by way of their tongue. If your forked tonguery, if your words are forked tonguery, that's what defiles you. And because I'm a Bible student, a white person student, a student of lyricism, a student of emotions, I'm a student of society, I'm a student of so many things, I'm so aware of things. You may not know I'm aware, but I'm aware. That's why white people are afraid to talk to me. Ooh. You know why they're afraid to talk to me? Because they know that listen, here is something that you don't know about me. I'm about to tell you something that it's something that I can no longer hide anymore. I can't hide this about myself. It's just like Batman. At some point, listen, in all the legend of Batman, at some point, somebody's got to take off your freaking mask. Come on. Are you telling me that all the times that Batman has been knocked out, nobody's ever taken off his mask? He's got that much respect? Dude, while I'm fighting Batman, I'm taking off his mask. That's all I got to do. Listen, all I got to do is dodge your back thing and just go right for your take off the mask. Because then Batman will be like, my face, oh. That's how you conquer Batman. You take off his freaking mask. I don't understand why all of listen, if I make a Batman movie, if I make a Batman movie, it's gonna be 10 minutes long. You could get all the setup, you could get everything, and Batman is out there, right? And he does what he's doing, and he does what he's doing, and he conquers. All I gotta do, it'll be seven, it'll be seven people, right? Seven people on the ground and one person that's on a bungee cord, right? And so they'll be fighting Batman. Boom, 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 boom. And Batman defeats six of them, right? He's got the seventh one. The seventh one is the big dude. And then while he and the other guy is entangled, then the small guy, the small guy jumps down with the bungee cord, grabs the mask, pick it up, and bungees back up with the cow with the mask. And then the big guy is looking eye to eye with the demasked Batman. Okay, listen, the movie's not over. This is how I would do it. Okay, okay. Batman beats up the first six people, and now it's him and the giant guy. The giant guy has him in a bear hug, right? So Batman is trying to wiggle out of it, and Batman's trying to reach for his utility belt so he can get something to puncture the arm of this big guy. and, then, and then before he can get it, as he's finally grabbed it, he's just about to grab it. The guy flips off of the roof, and with a bungee cord, he grabs the mask. It's just perfectly executed. It's perfectly executed. He grabs the mask and he bungees up back to the roof. Okay, so he flips down, bungee cords down, grabs Batman's mask, just accurate, and then bounces back up, and now he's on the roof, right, with the mask. And this guy, Batman in the bear hug. Now they're looking eye to eye. Listen, I'm not done. This is what I'm saying. Now the big guy is looking Batman eye to eye. The music stops, and it's just Batman. It's Batman, and his feet are off the ground because the guy got him in a pair of hugs. And he's looking at this guy eye to eye. Now Batman has no mask on. He's got his body armor. He's got his suit with his cape on, and the guy still has the bear hug. And now the guy's got Batman in the bear hug, and now Batman has no mask, and now they're looking eye to eye at each other. Batman stops working on. He stops working on getting it. He's it because it's over now. Checkmate. It's over. So now they're looking at each other in the eye. And the big guy says, "Hey, you're Bruce Wayne." Okay. And then you don't need to finish the scene. You don't need to finish it. The next scene is the credits rolling. Wow. Bruce Wayne is shot down the back. He's moving out of the whole Gotham. That's how the credits roll. Batman got a doggone moving van. He got a moving van. He got a riding truck. We figure out what company that's gonna have a big old giant moving van. He got one moving van. And Alfred helped him back his man. And Alfred, Alfred gets into his car and goes one direction. And Bruce Wayne he gets into his rider truck and he goes in a different direction. Oh my god. And then there's a sale sign on Wayne and it says reduced price. It says reduced price on the Wayne. Oh my god. And then you don't see this in the movie, but there has to be a comic book. In the comic book version, you would see you would see the comic book version would have the comic book version would have a real estate agent who uh who lists all the virtues of Wayne Manor and the Batcave. And is trying to get a good price for it. And you go in all details. Oh my God. I right now I have no idea why I went into all of that. And that um I think that whatever point I was finna make, I don't have to worry about it because maybe I made it already. All I know is that uh I might make that movie, man. It'll be 15 minutes. 15 minutes is too long. I have to use a lot of filler because that's all that it would be. That's the whole movie. You get that done in 5, 6 minutes. But if I'm gonna make it 15 minutes so that it um because it's a Batman movie, Batman deserves at least 15 minutes. Um, Father God, I come before you in Jesus' name, Lord, and I'd like to apologize to you, Lord, um, for anything that I've said in my recording here. Oh, I was about to tell my secret. Oh, that's why I got onto that point. Thank you, Lord. Okay, let me see. It's 2 minutes. Listen, you know what? I'm not gonna demask myself. Now I understand why I forgot. Okay, so Lord, thank you for protecting my secret. It's so stupid. This secret is so stupid. Just like Batman and Bruce Wayne. Just like that is so dumb. Superman, that's dumb. Glasses on, you can't tell. Wonder Woman, you can't tell. You can't tell that that's, huh? That's how dumb people are. They can't tell that that's the person. So I could put on a mask and you can't tell I'm a Negro. Oh my God. I would ruin so many movies if I wrote the movie. Every great movie, every great superhero movie. I actually think one of the greatest superhero movies is Hancock with Will Smith. Because even though I don't drink, um, they need to make more of those Hancock movies. I'm telling you, that Hancock that Joker is a great movie. And um, man, I'm not gonna start talking about that, man. I'm not right now. Look, thank you, Lord, for this episode. Oh my God, I was supposed to the secret about the whites, the big problem about the, oh my God, I forgot to go into that. Listen, I've been running my face, so maybe in a future episode I will tell my secret, probably behind a paywall. Meaning, just like Batman has a secret identity, I have a secret talent that um, I work it so well that um, I can't believe how well it works. It's so ridiculous that it works so well that I could tell you and it still would work. It's just that, you know, it's like David Chappelle. It's so funny. If you ever heard that joke where he said, and I punched her in the vagina. If you ever heard that joke that he did, and I'm not doing it just by saying it. If you ever heard that joke, he said he punchlines in the fishbowl. And he goes to the story, boom, hits the joke. He says, listen, you saw it coming, and I still got you. That's my point. I'm that good at this. I have about 5 or 6 skills that I got that um, I've honed them so well that, you know, I don't care if anybody else is good at it. I'm good at these few things, very few things. I'm not good at a lot of stuff, as you can tell. I'm not even good at keeping my neighbors happy here. That's why I got to live by myself. So, um, what I'm gonna say is um, that I'll talk about that my my special skills. I'm gonna put that in a song, if anything. That's how I'll do that. So look out for that. The other thing that I will go into is the other thing I'll go into is oh, it's 5:20. Okay, got you. Good. The other thing I'll go into is the declining birth rates of whites. That's a problem, and that topic deserves its own episode anyway. So, you know, number 3, uh, Pam, I have a lot of thank yous to give you, and I'll do that right now. I'll do some of it right now, but I'm gonna make an episode where I slather you in praise and remind you of how much I appreciate you. And even though I may have a problem with a few things that have happened under your watch and happened at your hands, that does not totally um, caricature or caricaturize my view of you. Okay. um, if you are 100% Pam Melby, if you're 100%, the issue that I have with you is only a 3 to 5% issue, right? It's not even a full 10%. It's not even a full tithe of it. It's just 3 to 5%. If it has to be acknowledged, because if you put one drop of urine in a gallon jug of lemonade, it's undrinkable by some. And I say by some because you know our water that we our water that we drink in our spigots, it's got various impurities. That's why we got bottled water. You know what I'm saying? So, and we trust bottled water, which I've seen that bottled water ain't nothing but tap water. And that's a whole thing. And I've learned that from white people that have blessed me. And uh what I'm saying is that the um uh you, Pam, you're 95% blessing and wonderful. Okay, you, this little things that I got problem with you. Once we discuss it, it's over. I'm never going to bring it up again. That's why I record my broadcast, because once I discuss it in a broadcast, I don't have to discuss it no more. Just refer to that. Matt, how you feel about it? I already put my feelings on record about it, and that's what I got to do. I have to put my feelings and my thoughts into on record. That's what I have to do, because I can't no longer just sit and be upset, you know. And that is part of my development and my growth, because I take my personal growth more seriously than most people around me. Most of the people around me do not care about their spiritual and emotional and their personal well-being and health. They care about how much money they got. They care about uh, their children and stuff like that, and I do too. But during all the time that I don't have my children, it's not that I don't want my children. I want them. I keep trying to get them, but I keep failing because Valerie is uh, the greatest coon in my family. She's My family consists of my ex-wife, um, uh, and my two children, and um, what might be my new wife. Because I don't know if we're gonna make it, because my problems in Toma, they affect a lot of stuff, and it affected my relationship with the woman that I have deeply loved for years, and that relationship may not work out, and I'm not sad about it if it doesn't work out. I want it to work out, but I've learned to, um, the same way that white people are not emotional when they screw me over, and I have to have all the emotions. I've learned that if uh, that if that Valerie can take my children, and I have to have no emotions. I can't have emotions, because my emotions, me honking my horn, is more illegal. Me honking my horn is more illegal than Valerie blocking me from my children. Me ringing the doorbell is more illegal than Valerie blocking me from my children. And I got to live with that. That means I'm forced to be the stereotype of the missing dad. I'm forced into that. I didn't ask for that. I didn't have children for that to happen. But in slavery, That's what they did. They take the children away from the parents. Guess what? Once I'm out of the picture, they can take the children from Valerie too. And Valerie can't do anything because she will have alienated the man that can help her out the most. But, you know, Master Pastor Kirk Brown and all of the whites in Toma that are on her side, um, they probably will make sure that the children never are gone from her. But Nathan, the gold mine that he is, that's who they want. They want me without me. They want me that's in my son. My son is basically me. I told you, he's 10 years old. They know a gifted Negro when they see it. And so they got to chicken George him. And that's what's going to be interesting because that means my son has some choices. Just like every white person has a nigger lover test. Oh, and I wanted to tell you, Pam, for the most part, I'm gonna tell you something. out of out of 12 nigger lover tests that you have that under my time here, I can count 12 nigger lover tests. I believe it's 12. I got to go back to my notes to confirm the number, but let's just say it's 12 for right now. Pam Melby has had 12 nigger lover tests, and you have passed at least 10 of them. That's what I'm saying. You're good. You can go to sleep at night knowing that I don't look at you as a racist. I don't see you as a racist. I'll never see you as a racist. Even if you are, I don't see you as that. I see you as Pam, mother of Ella, greatest landlord that I've had in Toma. That's how I see you. That's how I'm going to refer to you as. The glitch or situations that you've that I feel the two things that you failed in, those failures are not disqualifying failures. They're not even worth mentioning. That's why most people, when they leave a residence or when they move on, they don't talk about the good and the bad. They just might talk about the bad and let the emotions run. But no, I do everything decently and in order. You don't just leave. You you have what's called an exit interview. You clean the place up. You do things properly. You do things shrewdly and wisely, you know? So I'm putting it into my broadcast. I'm not really worried about you listening to it or not because, it'll get back to you. Just like everything does. You know what I'm saying? Everything gets to everybody. So all those things I'll go into. Thank you all for listening to my show. And I truly appreciate um even if you hate listening to my show, um, thank you for listening. For anybody to listen to me, whether they like me or not, um, the thing that I appreciate and the thing that I wanted with my life is that um, people would listen to me and hear me out. That's really the greatest thing that anybody can ask for is for people to hear them out. And when I'm having a conversation with somebody, people don't like to listen to me. People like to talk to me because I'm a good listener and I'm a good interviewer because I care about the people that I talk to, you know? So, listen, uh, please have a great day or a great night. Uh, if oh, here's what I'll say before I leave. Okay, before I end this part of the episode. Um, if your dream life is out of control, write all the dreams down. Record them audio. Do something to get them out of your head. Because once they're on paper, once they're in recorded, then you can go back to sleep. All right. Uh, m3dots.com is the website. M3dots at yahoo.com is my That is my email address. And I decided that I'm going to make my phone number public. This is, I'm nervous about this. Okay. I'm very nervous about this. I'm not going to do it in this broadcast, but I'm working on the details of making my phone number public so that wherever I go, I can, a lot of businesses, they got their phone number out there. Now listen, I'm not a business. This is a hobby. I don't do anything. I'm retired, and nobody likes that I'm retired because they want me to do what they want me to do. But I'm not capable of doing any of that stuff because if I don't have my children, my life is not normal. If racist people can get over on me all the time and I can't get over on racist people, then life is not normal. I can't function unless either this injustice that I've dealt with is dealt with. I can't function. Okay? A slave that learned how to read is ungovernable. Right now, I'm an uppity nigger in people's minds. There is no place for me because I run my mouth too much. The place for me is where I'm at on a website, m3dots.com. That's my place. And I bought that. Nobody can take my First Amendment rights away from a website. Now listen, you can take my rights away. I've had my rights taken from me plenty of times. I have the right to parent my children, and those have been taken away from me by my coon token ex-wife Valerie, the greatest coon in our family, the Toma's greatest token. So my point is things will be, this is my new normal. So deal with it. I'm the radio guy. That's my nickname. The radio guy. I'm the radio guy in Toma. TomaRadio.com. Bless you guys. Talk to you later. Bless you guys. Talk to you later.
Understand the significance, the realness of the crucifixion. See, Jesus was God manifested in the flesh to bring God and you together. He took your sins upon his chest and drank up the cup of God's wrath that you were supposed to swallow. That's the reason yesterday that you had a tomorrow. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem of stricken, smitten of God and afflicted. God allowed him to be smote, so what the prophets wrote would be fulfilled, and redemption could be sealed. A man without sin was scourged for all of your sins, and though he was sickless, he bore all of your sicknesses. Ooh, I wish you knew the reason for what God was trying to do. He wanted to hug you and love you. He wanted to protect you from sin and death, but yet man loved himself more than God. That's the reason darkness comprehended him not. Wipe the sleep out of your eyes, open up your ears. This thing is deeper than it may appear. I wish you knew the depth in why he had to die. It was for you and I.
I wish you knew what he went through.
I wish I could make you understand the distress at Gethsemane when he fought the foe of the flesh. He saw himself nailed by his wrists, stretched wide, flesh ripped and hung high. Mixed emotions about the notion that the world knew him not, yet his devotion to the will of his pops kept him going. He fell on his face. If it be possible, this cup of wrath, let it pass from me. But he knew it had to be. See, he'd have to take his righteousness off and put your sin on, then get whipped, slapped, mocked, stabbed, kicked, and spit on. When he'd be slain, no Novocaine, he'd feel all the pain. From the thorns in his brain to the spear in his gut. I wish you knew how rough it really was. I wish you knew how deep agape love is. Wipe the sleep out of your eyes, open up your ears. This thing is deeper than it may appear. I wish you knew the depth and why he had to die. It was for you and I
wish you knew what he went through. It was for me, and it was
He
for
was
you.
betrayed by his homie, arrested then cuffed, accusers calling him blasphemous. A whole room of men bum rushed from all sides, striking and slapping and spitting and kicking and grabbing and tearing and punching and biting and pulling and pushing and striking and smiting and hitting him until they got tired. You handed him the Pilate, he said, I could take your life. And Jesus let him know he wasn't right. He said, no man could take my life unless that I would lay it down. You have no power over me. Then Pilate had him bound. They tied him to a post after he was stripped, then mercilessly beaten with the whip.
All night
The whip
long.
was made of sharp pieces of metal bounded by a leather strap. Fragments of flesh was torn from his back that made him walk miles with the big block of wood on his shoulder to Golgotha. They laid him down. All you heard was the sound of them pounding nails in his wrists. Blood began to drip. Everyone began to flinch. I know Jesus had to bite his lip from the pain. They picked the cross up. Moms kept on weeping. Then they pounded nails in his feet. Then a darkness came over the land. Some people say it's 'cause God turned his face away. See, what happened was Jesus had your sin on him. Now you can be forgiven for all you've done. Each stripe that he took was so you could be healed. Each hit that he took so you wouldn't have to feel what he felt. God so loved you that he gave his only begotten son to do what he done.